Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with all the resources you need to become a successful author. You can learn more about Authors Unite and join the free community at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today I have Gargi Bajpai with us. She is an MBA HR with 2 years of experience in various domains, i.e. T&D, recruitment, competency mapping, and operations, etc. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Of course. So look forward to hearing your answers. The first question I have for you is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Okay. Actually, it was in 2012 that I met with an accident, and I gained my consciousness after 2 months. And after that, I was life was a little difficult. And those 2 years, they taught me 3 lessons. And those 3 lessons were, it is you who has to deal with yourself, and you are your responsibility and no one else's. And respect people around you, and especially your family. You never know what they're having, what they're going through because of you. And then the third one is never stop. I read somewhere that if you cannot run, you should walk. If you cannot walk, you should at least crawl, but never stop. That is what those 3 lessons I've learned in my life.
Those are very valuable. Thanks for sharing your story.
Yes.
The next one I have for you is, what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Okay. This was in 2015. I was doing a project in competency mapping, and where I learned about competency mapping, yes, and I learned about iceberg model and the various methods of how we can identify the competencies. Like there are assessment centers, and then we can have group discussion on that, and interviews and everything. And then there are critical incident techniques, and these techniques are unstructured, and it needs a clear clear explanations. And then there are interviews and questionnaires which help us to understand the competencies of a person, and then we can help those competencies to be mapped in a right position. So this is my expertise.
And what is your best piece of overall business advice?
The overall business advice, you shouldn't judge an ostrich by its ability to climb a tree. So what I mean is that you shouldn't be judging every individual in an organization with a single parameter, like what we normally do, and we judge them as a good or as a bad. So it's like every individual has its own capability, capacities, and skills. So we should be like dealing with every person differently. So perhaps this is the advice I could give. And then the employee satisfaction would be more, and the results, the success of the organization would be more. That's it.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
I would say believe in yourself. So it's like if I would have been I am at a good position right now. I'm an HR manager of Pulse Squad Infotech Private Limited. I am in a good company and everything. But if I would have been so self-confident in my previous years, in my younger years, perhaps I would have been doing better. So that's all about me today.
And in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
The key to happiness is just be positive, know where you are, and in whatever circumstances. Being positive is the only key.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
Okay. I read this book, 1 Minute Manager. It was by Kenneth Blanchard and Spencer Johnson. Yes. And in where I read that there was this boss who gave just 1 minute to interact with individual, and like he was if when I say this, it might appear to you that uh, he was quite cunning or within something wrong with his attitude or something. No, he was managing his time in interacting with individuals. So it was like for every praise he just gave 1 minute, for every reprimand he gave 1 minute, and for setting goals he gave 1 minute. So it saved him a lot of time. So yes, this was the book.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
My favorite quote, it was something which I came up with myself, and it is "Follow your heart, with brain leading the path." So it's like it gives you happiness, and it gives you satisfaction, and it also gives you the success. So you should be doing that.
Thank you so much for coming on. The last question I have for you before we let you go is, where is the best place for people to find and or connect with you online?
It would be LinkedIn. I'm available in the LinkedIn profile. Yes.
Perfect. Thanks again for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.